Hey, my village. I'm back. I know it's been like over a week since you guys have heard from me, but I'm here. We got two topics. The one I was going to cover last week, which is the lack of community and support for men, for fathers. And then today's topic is going to be the fatherless child. I'm going to drop some stats for you guys, but let me go ahead and share this to my private group first, and we will get started. So bear with me. Let me add some people. All right. I missed you guys. Hey, I was just inviting you. Let me invite some people. I was just inviting you. Hey, you guys. I'm gonna wave back to you guys. But I'm just sharing it with a few people so that I can invite them. And we'll get started. My son want to say hi to you guys. Here you go.
Hey everyone.
That's my son Dacian, my little brat. Alright, that's enough. He always want to say hi when I go live. But the first topic is the lack of community and support for men. I've been doing a few studies, and the studies show that there is a lack of community and support for fathers. Fathers benefit from spending time with other men, which is very important because us women, we have a lot of groups, we have a lot of like support, different things that we can do to get other support from other women, but it's not a lot out there for men to get help, and they really need our help. So hey Sheena, Charlotte. So pretty much they benefit from spending time with other men to talk about what works and what failures that dads have, and like as a partner. Hey Trina. And like economic providers, they need someone to talk to about that. They can't just, they hold a lot in, and because they don't have an outlet, and it's not like they can really go to us for us to really understand what it is that they need. Hey Trina. I know the other live started. Thank you for joining mine. But I just wrote down like a few things that men can do to get that support. Like they can join other men's groups on social media. There is a lot, especially like Facebook. I wrote down like 11 that I'm following along on Instagram, but I'm going to share that list probably later on after this post. But they will join, like they can join adult teams. They can have talks at the barbershop. There's a lot of conversation going at the barbershop. But if you don't go to the barbershop, you can have play dates with other fathers. It's cool to have play dates. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But those are the few, 4 things like I would suggest men do to get that support. And the other topic that I had was the fatherless child. Okay, babe. So the statistics on the fatherless child, 40% of all children are born to unmarried parents. So let's just get that out there. Our divorce rates suck, and so does being unwed parents. So that is a problem. So a lot of people need help co-parenting because half of them are not married. Almost half. 40% is a big amount. So there is a need for people to be able to communicate, co-parent together, things like that. And 90% of all homeless are like runaway youth. Look, Dace's about to get in trouble by his dad. He making noise intentionally in the background for attention. And 85% of all children exhibit behavior disorders. So most children without a father in their life do eventually have issues with behavior. Also, like 71% of them are high school dropouts. It's really important for both parents to be to be there and be involved in their child's life and have both of those parents, so that the odds for your child to actually finish school and be successful, not have any behavior disorders, things like that, is very important. You don't want your kid to be a runaway and homeless. 70% are in state operated juvenile detention centers. 75% of adolescent patients are in substance abuse centers, because to cope with their pain and their suffering, they go to drugs, alcohol. A lot of them are suicidal. It's really it really hurts me to see these statistics. But I always look up that type of stuff because, of course, I went to school to be for research psychology for my master's degree. So it's a habit of always going back and doing my research before I share stuff with you guys. Children from low-income two-parent homes outperform children from a high-income single-parent home. So even if you're broke, you're low income, that's no excuse. That don't determine how successful your child will be or how they would turn out, but it's showing that when there's two parents in a low-income household, their kids outperform someone that's a single parent that got money. So it's like you could struggle and your child still becomes successful. And communities have greater success with stand-in fathers, like father figures, mentors, teachers, coaches, and other adults that can provide support. So get your kids in some activities, join like Boys and Girls Club, things like that, because their success is a little greater when they're in those type of things. Put them in sports. The coaches are usually mentors as well. There's a lot of men out there that either have grown kids and they go back and volunteer just to save our kids and help them be able to have a chance and not go down that wrong path. I know a lot of men that were saved by their coach. They didn't know they wanted to do sports. They got into sports and that saved their life. They will let you know, like, if it wasn't for this person or this mentor or this coach taking me in, my life would have been a whole lot different. And I know a lot of people that feel that way. And I've experienced it. I've seen it. And it's like, without that support, they feel alone. Because I get a lot of men that reach out to me and ask me to help them get their partner, spouse, ex, baby mama, whatever you want to call it, on board with working out a co-parenting plan. And a lot of people don't. Some people just bitter. Some people, I had this discussion a few times because I heard it a few times this week where men will say, well, she knew I didn't want a kid or whatever. And I'm like, well, you knew you're going at her raw and she can get pregnant. So that's not an excuse. The kid is here. So work something out, figure it out, get over it. And both people have to be responsible, not just everything on one parent, on one person. So it's like, I always try to tell men, a lot of times they bring the problem upon themselves. Hey, coach, by not owning up to what they did wrong. Because a lot of women will work with a guy, but I explained to some people, women need closure. So if it was something bothering them, you did something to them, they're hurt, they need closure. But a lot of men don't care for closure. They just say, whatever, you got to get over it yourself and move on. But that's why you're not able to communicate or co-parent or coexist in your child's life, because either she's still hurt and you won't allow her the opportunity to have that closure because you're just like, whatever, that's your problem. No, you have to deal with it. It's all about responsibility and accountability. Yes, Trina, it really is. And I am a big person on that. And that's why in my co-parenting plan program, I go through that. The first step is mindset. First, you got to be in the right mindset to be able to coexist. You can't just be negative or always throwing something in their face that they did in the past. That's why the second week is forgiveness. So the first week we hash out what is the problem, what's really going on, what haven't you gotten over, why can't you co-parent, what's holding you back. Then the second week is forgiving them, because if you keep holding on to that, you'll never be able to move forward and co-parent. It's not going to work. Hey, Randy. So it's like I always start with changing your mindset, stop being negative, stop being bitter, stop being spiteful, stop being like all that. Hey Tish, and get it together. So once you get everything out in the open, because half the time they don't know why you're mad anyway. So whenever you discuss the real reason why you don't want them involved in your child life, or you feel like they're toxic for your child and you don't want that example for your child, once you get over that, you can forgive them, you get over it, and you know how to communicate. And a lot of guys just don't know how to approach the situation. They don't know how to talk to the woman. Instead of talking to their insecurities and pointing out what they're doing wrong and never owning up, you would never get through to them. So like I talked to a few guys within the last 2 weeks on how to approach the situation. Don't go with demands. Don't go with, oh, you're going to do this, or this is what I want, but you're not considering what they might want. So that's why we go through making a plan that works for both people. Like, don't be selfish. It's not about you, it's about the kid, and I always explain that to people. When you take you out of the situation and you think about the kids first, then you will have some success. But when you're selfish, or you doing stuff on purpose just to make the other person mad, and that's unnecessary. Like, we don't need to go there. Hey, Bob. But that was it for those two topics. Basically is owning up, finding that support. A lot of men hold things in and just let it brew, and to the point where they just like lash out in not so good ways. They need to open up and communicate. Nothing changed if nothing changed. So stop with the old patterns and break the cycle. Open your mouth. Tell them what you want. Because a lot of women, we can't read your mind. We're not going to chase you to be in your child life. That's for sure. So we look at it when you don't put forth the effort that you don't want to be there. That's how a lot of women look at it. But when they see you with effort and you trying, then they're more willing to work with you because they feel like, oh, you actually do care about your child. So I always tell people that, like, if you don't show effort, of course they're not going to work with you because they feel like there's some underlying thing that you're trying to do. Like, when you never there and then you all of a sudden come picture, they're like, okay, what do you want? Like, is this about the child or is it about me? So it's like you gotta communicate. And like with me and my child father, he's been here tomorrow will be 2 weeks. And it's like we haven't been in the same household in 9 years since my son was 3 months, and that was the one time. And I was like, didn't know what to expect at first. How are you? I'm good. Hey, Charlotte. But I didn't know what to expect, but I knew we were good because we healed those past problems. We don't argue because I'm not an argumentative person. I'm just like, whatever. But I always think about, like, my son wanted to see his dad, so we will make it happen. And then we took a trip last week. That's why I didn't go live. I was in California for my bonus daughter graduation. She had, like, everybody in tears. Like, I felt like she's my daughter. And I'm so proud of her. And it's crazy because people be like, how do y'all coexist with other baby mamas and stuff like that? It's easy. We don't make it complicated. We're like a family. We're actually planning a family vacation together. But I can sit down and talk to the other moms, and it's no problem. We never had drama because it's all about the kids. My son loved his sister. We went out to eat. We talked. We shared thoughts, like she asked everybody about what middle school is like, and we gave her feedback and tell her about, like, not following the crowd, be a leader, just giving her little advice. Be your own person, don't change for nobody. And it's good to be able to come together and everybody can talk and communicate, and it's the more love for them. They're loved even more. They got bonus parents, and it's like, for them to see you all coexist is important too. Her and my son was so happy. Like, they're hugging each other all day. They're talking. They're like best friends. And that's what I like to see. And it's like, some people can't do that. But it's all because their feelings are in it. I never had drama either. It's about growing up and being mature. Yes, exactly. And why make it harder? Me, I like simplify life. I don't do drama. I don't like stress. So if it causes me stress or drama, it's probably going to be eliminated real quick. Like, I'm going to shut it down. Like, I I don't like arguing with people. I can't stand like when a kid is hurt in the middle, because that's all I care about. My son is happy. My mom just told me the other day, like, he looks really happy, like, with his dad here, and his dad is even thinking of moving out here to be closer to his kids. So it's like, that's awesome. I never expected that, but that's the way it turned out, because it's just easy. Like, we do our own thing. I don't check on him. He don't check on me. Like, you live your life. And we just keep that open communication. Be respectful and don't cross that line. But that's all I have for you guys today. I did want to ask you guys to leave some comments or questions that you want to ask, and maybe me and him will both go live together, and you'll be able to talk to us both about like how we got to where we were at. Hey, Dennis. And how we got to be able to coexist in my son's life. It wasn't always easy. It wasn't always like this, because I had issues myself. Stuff I was holding in, didn't talk about, didn't communicate about. I was mad, disappointed, everything. So it's like, it took a while for us to get to this point, to be able to coexist like this, especially in the same household. Like, I never thought that would happen. But if you guys have any questions or topics you want us to discuss together, for some clients, we might coach them together, because it is hard sometimes to coach someone like me, coach a father from a male's perspective. Like, I'll bring him in to coach with me to help the man get over whatever they're going through. And I can help the woman, because when I do my co-parenting, they're coaching individual in the beginning. The first 2 weeks is one-on-one individually, and then the last 4 weeks is together. So when we come together, we'll be able to all communicate, and me and him will coach together with both of them to teach them how to build a co-parenting plan, because that's what we did. And so, like, he has jumped on board to help me in my business, and it's like it's a family business. This is the legacy I wanted to leave my son, and I think it's pretty cool that we're able to do that together. We both have degrees, we're both educated, and this is the example we leave for my son. Like, you can get through anything. But that's pretty much all I have for you tonight. I did want to talk to you guys about, there's one person in our group, I think she's still here. Cindy, are you still here? She's a really awesome, basically she's a new family and parenting coach, I'll say that. And she's wrote 3 children's books that I think are so amazing. It's basically the Brownie Kid collection, or series. One of the books is called The Brownie Kid Squad and the Best Day Ever. It's a special adventure with Zola. And the second book is The Brownie Girl Adventures, Zola's Family Vacation. And the third book is The Brownie Girl Zola Visits the Zoo, a fun day adventure with Daddy. I think these books are so awesome. She's written these 3 children's books over the years. They're like $15.99 or less. I am going to share the link where you can purchase these books. I'll probably drop it in the comments or post it on my page or in the group, but where you can go and get these books. But they're so amazing to share with kids. I love children's books. I was talking to my son about writing a children's book, because he have the mind of just being out there, like his adventures. Hey, Renee. But that's pretty much all I have to share today. I did get all the orders out for those who pre-ordered my icebreaker cards. All those have been delivered and shipped. You can still get your orders in at my website, MoniqueAtkinsCoaching.com. I'll share the link. But go ahead and get your cards. I'll do a live with my son where he's actively answering for the cards for you guys, so you can see how it is. But it's been really fun. We go through a few cards a week, because there's 100, so we haven't been through all of them yet. But it's pretty interesting to learn and hear their response, because sometimes my son catch me off guard with, if I ask him what he want to be when he grow up, I think the answer change every week. So I'll follow up and ask him, like, what do you want to be now? And like, I want to be a famous YouTuber. Like, he wants to be an entrepreneur. He don't want like a traditional job. He used to want to be a science teacher, and now he's like a professional YouTuber. He wants his own YouTube channel. He wants a cooking channel with my sister, a fashion channel with me. But it changes every week. But at the end of the day, he wants to be an entrepreneur. So I guess I can show him how to do that. Like, I've been teaching him how to edit videos, and I'm going to show him how to do graphics, and I'm showing him how to do a banner for his YouTube channel, and just helping him with his dream. If that's what he want to do, I have a YouTube channel myself. He checks out my videos. He asked me the other day, what are parenting styles? Because that was my very first video I posted a few months ago. But I discussed what parenting styles are. I'm like, for example, I use me and his dad. Like, your dad is this parenting style, I'm this parenting style. But we combine and work together. Even though our styles are different, we compromise. So, like, I explained that to him. No problem, Cindy. But I am going to add the link to your, for them to be able to purchase your books. And go ahead and get you guys card orders in. I'm going to be releasing the other 2 editions. The second edition is the parenting cards. Those cards are where the kid asks the parents questions. Because how much do your child really know about you besides you being a mom? Like, my son asks about, like, how did you meet my dad? Like, what school did you go to? Like, what did you go to college for? What did you want to be when you grow up? They don't know a lot of stuff about us, just like we don't know a lot about them besides being their parent, and you don't know what they go through at school. That's the third edition, is the one for teens. So you ask them about sex, suicidal thoughts, and you get deep with them and have those serious conversations. The cards will help you open up that communication with your child. And you find out if they have boyfriend and girlfriend. Do they like boys? Do they like the same sex? And you go from there. Like, I ask my son all the time, even though he's only 9, I ask him, do you like girls? And he's like, yeah. Do you like boys? Like, I go there. I've talked to him about sex. I asked him how much he know about sex. Have you watched it on TV? Like, I want to know, do you watch porn? Kids sneak and do this stuff. So I want to know, and I want him to be able to come to me for that. Like, I need to know if I need to get you protection. I know these kids are starting to do stuff at a very young age, and I'm not oblivious to it. And I'm not going to be like, oh, my kid is a good kid. Like, no. Because I've seen my friends pregnant at 10 in middle school, and it's like doing sexual things at that young age, 6th, 7th grade. So I'm not going to be like, oh, this new generation is different. No, they're starting even earlier in elementary. So I have those conversations with him. Sometimes he probably think I'm crazy, but it's like, your mom wants to know, and I always tell him, you can come to me about anything. If you don't feel comfortable coming to me, you can go to your dad. And me and his dad sat down and talked to him the other day, and he's like, okay, but I don't want no girlfriend. So I'm like, okay, good. Because I had my first kiss at 10. I'm like, you're almost 10 years old, so we had to play boyfriend, play girlfriend stuff. So I wanted to know, like, are you interested in anybody? But he's shy away from it. But he's like, no, Mom, like, he still think girls got cooties. So I'm happy he's growing up slowly and not too extreme with people. And I guess it's because I homeschooled him. He don't be around a lot of other kids to be influenced to do other stuff like that. But the benefit of being in control, homeschooling, like, you control who they deal with. But yes, I just wanted to come live. I missed you guys, and I missed my live last week. Me and his dad were trying to figure out what topic to talk about and come live together to help other families. And you're going to get some free Q&A. It's going to be a live Q&A session, and whatever you want to ask him or me about our journey, you can go ahead and ask. But we're getting ready to go to the pool. They just left me. So I thank you guys. I appreciate you coming live with me today. I did change the time. I did a poll yesterday about what's the best time to go live. A lot of people agreed 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So it's going to be 7 on Mondays instead of 6. And let me see next week's topic. I forgot what next week is. Let me check. Daddy issues. It's going to be like 6 signs to know that you have daddy issues. And we're going to get deep because there's a lot of men out there who have a lot of daddy issues. And some of this can go for women too. You got daddy issues. Like, it's just a reality. You got to get over those things so that you can be the best father or mother you can be. So this one actually can go both ways. Where a lot of people don't have that other parent in the household, and a lot of men were raised by single moms. So we're going to tackle those 6 things that I noticed with men and women and teach you how to get rid of that anger towards those daddy issues and become your own person. You don't have to repeat the generational curse or repeat the cycle. It's time to break the cycle and get down to the bottom of what's really going on. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I am my brother's keeper, and I definitely want to help the men. I always help the women, but these men really need our help. So that's what I'm here to do. If you're ready to rewrite your story and get your life together, as I say, go ahead and book or schedule your one-on-one, your breakthrough session with me. You get a free 45-minute session. Sometimes it run over. But I do have my calendar open for next week. I know I didn't have any slots last week because I was traveling for 4 days. But I do have some openings for Monday and Tuesday next week. And I'm ready. I'm ready when you are. And it's time for a change. You can't afford to wait because your child is the one that's being affected. We need to get this together early before it's too late. But thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next week. Probably at the end of the week, I'll announce when me and his dad is going to do a Q&A. It might be Saturday morning, but I'll let you guys know. Thank you guys. Have a nice day. Bye.